Most people treat credit cards like a trap that buys liabilities. But for a select group of investors, this piece of metal is a tool to acquire cash-flowing assets without spending a dollar of their own. तो मैं आपसे पूछता हूँ, are your credit card habits making the bank rich, or are they making you rich? Let's look at a traditional saver. We'll call him Person B. His goal is to save $50,000 in cash for a down payment on his first investment property. The math works against him. Over the years it takes an average earner to park $50,000 in a bank, inflation actively eats away its purchasing power. Add in monthly account maintenance and transaction fees, and the value of that cash shrinks while it sits. Stashing cash in a traditional savings account doesn't build wealth. It creates a slow, guaranteed drain on your buying power. To understand how the wealthy avoid this, you have to look at the 3 tiers of debt. The bottom tier is unsecured debt. This is exactly where banks want consumers, using borrowed money for cars, vacations, and everyday expenses that generate zero income. The middle tier is restructured debt. This is a defensive move. It's used to protect existing assets and income streams, often when an individual uses strategic bankruptcy to restructure their financial obligations. The top tier is structured debt. This is how wealthy individuals operate. They borrow capital directly from the bank specifically to acquire assets that produce income. Let's look at the leverager, Person A. Because he has an intact, compliant business entity and strong personal credit, he doesn't need to spend years saving. He can secure $50,000 in business credit from multiple banks in just 1 week. When you pull $50,000 from a credit line instead of earning it through a salary, the IRS doesn't tax it. Debt is completely tax-free capital. By utilizing the top tier of debt, you access tax-free capital exponentially faster than you ever could by setting aside pieces of your paycheck. Here is the exact math on how an investor acquires a $100,000 property using zero personal cash. First, the investor pulls $25,000 from a business line of credit. This covers the soft costs, the 20% down payment, closing costs, and appraisal fees. Next, a traditional bank mortgage covers the remaining acquisition cost to complete the purchase. The investor now owns the property without touching their own bank account. The property generates $1,000 a month in rental income. That $1,000 pays the bank mortgage, it services the monthly credit card payment, and leaves a net positive profit of $300 in the investor's pocket. This math scales to business operations too. You can fund a $9,000 marketing campaign on credit, and as long as the clients it generates pay more than the cost to service the debt, the campaign pays for itself. Structured debt allows you to acquire and control cash-flowing assets while keeping your own liquid capital completely intact. But the math only works under one strict condition. If the return on investment drops below the cost of credit, the system collapses. So, rule बहुत simple है. कभी भी debt से liability मत खरीदना. Debt should strictly be deployed to acquire an asset. To set up this structure, you have to build your foundation. That means optimizing personal credit and legally establishing a formal business entity. From there, you make that business entity bank compliant. You align your data points with what lenders require, making it safe and easy for them to approve you for multiple business credit cards and lines of credit. When you put your cash in a savings account, the bank turns around and lends it out to make a profit. Educated investors simply cut out the middleman and use the bank's own credit to do the exact same thing. Listen, credit cards are not consumer traps. When utilized by an educated investor, they are primary instruments for building